Hey everybody, Anthony from the Rock Studio here. I'm doing part 2 of a video series entitled How to Become a Better Roadie. Now in this second video I'm going to talk about the loadout and the pack, the things that happen at the end of the show, whether you're doing a concert or a theatrical show, maybe an audiovisual conference, a big convention, something like that. Now of course, everybody has their own method for loading out and packing. I'm going to discuss mine, which I think is secure, it's effective, it's going to contribute to the success of your tour. And I like to stress safety and security, obviously. I hate to hear stories about equipment getting stolen during loadout. It's definitely something we could prevent using this technique. So check it out. As soon as you start loading out equipment, everybody on the crew grab a piece of gear and start walking it outside. Typically, you'll start with the largest, heaviest stuff first. There's 2 reasons to do that. First, I like to do the hard work first. Do the heaviest stuff first, get it out of the way. Secondly, you've got to load those heavier pieces of equipment into your trailer or van first for proper loading on the tongue, and because if you put the light stuff in first, it'll get crushed by the heavy stuff. So that's just common sense. There should be one person who does the pack every night, one person to hand that other person the equipment, and the rest of the crew can just bring the gear outside. Now make sure to lay that equipment out on the ground behind the trailer, sort of spread it out. Don't stack things on top of each other, because as soon as you do, the box you're going to need next is the one that's on the bottom. So you'll end up moving that piece of gear on top more than you should. We want to keep this process as efficient as possible. Now the person inside the trailer doing the pack is going to start calling out the names of the equipment that they need next. The person on the ground will start handing it up to them. As soon as you're done doing the pack, lock up the trailer or van and do a run through of the venue to make sure you didn't forget anything. Even if the venue wants to go ahead and lock its doors, just insist that you need to do one more last walkthrough. Now the 2 people handling the pack will eventually become a really solid team. Even the person on the ground is going to eventually learn what goes where, and they'll be able to preemptively get that next case ready for the person inside the van or trailer. Now, the point in which this becomes really important is when you go to reach for a piece of equipment and it's missing. You can say, I feel like I always put like a laptop here or a sampler over here, maybe a mic stand, something. At that point, you'd be like, you know what? That piece must be still left inside the venue. Send somebody in to get it. You might think that, oh, if we leave this at the venue, it's fine. We'll just get it in the morning. In my experience, getting a piece of equipment from a venue can be extremely difficult. You might think that they'll just be there in the morning. You can just swing by. It doesn't work like that. They are typically locked up until the time in the day when the next band's going to load in the afternoon, and you're going to be loading in a different city at that point. So try to keep a sharp eye, eliminate the errors, and just get that pack down to a science, learn where everything goes, and you'll know when something's missing. One of the most important reasons to have those people outside is your equipment will never go unsupervised. It's terrible to hear stories about like a solo performer is loading out, sets something on top of his trunk, goes back inside the venue to get his guitar or whatever, comes out, that piece of equipment's missing. And that could have been prevented by asking somebody for a hand. Be like, hey, look, I'm here by myself. I got to load out, but I can't leave my stuff unsupervised. Would you watch it for me, or would you carry this guitar out for me? It would make my life a lot easier. Just take a second to ask somebody. It can't hurt. I want to take a minute to talk about my crew. I manage a local stagehand crew here in town, and even though it's a really small town, we do a fair number of shows every year. And in particular, we'll have a giant show where it'll be a national touring act that'll come to town with 2 giant truckfuls of equipment. We'll load them onto the stage and get their sets and everything built, get the band ready for sound check in about an hour and a half. Now at the end of the night, we'll tear down Monitor World, Guitar World, all their extra staging, all those extra lights, all their extra set pieces, risers, all that stuff, LED panels, whatever. We'll load it into road cases, and we'll load their 2 trucks completely full in under an hour. And the way we can do that in under an hour is just by following directions. We're looking at the boxes, we're looking at the numbers on them. There's 2 guys, one in each truck, and they're calling out what boxes they need next. My guys provide them the boxes, and they're on their way in under an hour. And every year I get the same reaction from the stage manager. Unbelievable. And I want to try to pass some of this knowledge and some of these techniques onto you to make your jobs that much more efficient. Thanks everybody for tuning in and checking out this video. I hope it's going to make your next show or your next tour that much more secure, quicker, safer. I want to extend my gratitude to you all for watching this, and please stay in touch and please stay tuned for more videos.